Welcome to the Stanford Lee Show, the place for song, story, musicology, and more. This week, first world problems. Let's get started. I don't know, something this past week kind of reminded me of college. I guess it's kind of all the good times that I had going to school, in the fall and starting a new semester. The thing that we would look forward to as students, I guess we didn't know we'd look forward to it. I guess we realized later some of these people were really famous, and I wanted to talk about that because I think in the creative people, whether it's visual artists, musicians, actors, there's that sense of, I guess indulgence, or I guess neediness is a way of looking at it. I had some good stories, and for some of those I was there, and for some of those they were kind of like lore that was part of the art department I was in at the time. I'm going to kind of circle this story around to talk a little bit about one of the most outrageous philosophers, Diogenes. It was funny the kind of characters would get in the school. You could see that some of them were kind of used to their place in the art world, and others were just kind of scraping by. Like there was different levels of fame. Like I guess in what you would call the New York art scene. Because remember, there was a time when it was really thriving. And, culture was, really booming in that city, particularly in the visual arts. And I think one of the people that was probably the most outrageous, that I was kind of like, almost like, it's like, meeting Marilyn Manson or something. Like, they had such a reputation. But Vito Acconci, the sweetest guy, it's like he's renowned for some of his stunts and antics in his conceptual pieces, his performance pieces that he would do in the 70s. That would include like crawling around under the gallery floor while he was satisfying himself. Do I need to explain? But for example, he's the sweetest guy, and I remember the design professor, kind of took him home because these people became kind of like babysitters or like handlers of these famous people that would come into our department. And he was one of these cool guys that all you had to do is just kind of keep him with some wine and, just keep him engaged in conversation. He was great. Whereas others were really swindlers. You could tell it was a friend of a friend that just like, okay, let's get this guy in here. He's a starving artist, and, probably being at the time canceled by Jesse Helms or the Bush administration. I don't know, but just ridiculous stuff. And we were one of the universities, our claim to fame was having fake Warhols visit our campus. I'm not kidding, this was like a thing. It's like apparently Warhol and his company or whatever, they were like, well, there's so many dollars you can make sending me to a university, and who am I really? It's just kind of like, well, you could just kind of put a wig on somebody kind of slender and just, I don't know, I guess it could pass for a Warhol. Just, like think of his work. It was like Prince, it's kind of like, well, stamp and repeat, stamp and repeat. What if I could just kind of stamp and repeat myself? So so apparently we got one of the fake Warhols. Pretty cool though, right? What came to mind recently was the wisdom of this philosopher, and I think I try to take this with me, to not take people so seriously. And I don't really meet a lot of famous people. I think I met the visual artist Peter Max in a gallery once, and he was fantastic to talk to. I haven't met a lot of rock stars or actors, but I just assume that they're kind of like, as the name of the episode, first world problems. I figure they're probably plagued with different needs and requirements, and just kind of evaporate in thin air and then reappear suddenly, just like woo, kind of godlike or whatever. I don't know. But Diogenes, I mean, think of this philosopher. He was so disgusting. He would live in a barrel and relieve himself in the town square. And he had some of that kind of thing going on of like performance art, kind of like that artist I mentioned previously. But he was really disgusting, and I'm surprised he lasted longer than Socrates, really. But one of the great stories about him was how he dealt with fame. So who would be the most famous person in the world at the time? I guess Alexander the Great. And he was kind of bored and jaded and sitting in his barrel, as he would do. He lived in a barrel. Kind of like a barrel or a wine cask, So he was so excited. Alexander was so excited to meet him. He was the conqueror of the known world. The biggest person of his time. And he was like, wow, I could actually, meet Diogenes. I've heard so much about him. He promised him many things, like, really, I love your work. I've heard so much about you, Diogenes. And he was like, bro, could you just move aside? You're blocking the sunlight. As he liked to sun himself when he was sitting in his barrel. And so much for Alexander the Great. I guess he could care less. He was the same philosopher that would go through the town holding a lantern, and it's like people would question why he was doing this, and he would shine the light in their face. It's like, I'm looking for an honest man, as he would say, kind of mocking them. So I kind of take that with me. I don't like like being snarky or sarcastic, but I think the sense of humor that Diogenes showed and the kind of, disregard, just bringing it down a notch is just really cool. So I wrote this song, We Love Stars, and it's about, maybe how Diogenes would react to, some of the phoniness today. Just phoniness in general, whether it's, activist superstars or woke superstars, just a whole bunch of them, because in the end, they're kind of all the same, I think. And, we love them, we hate them, but they're just kind of like children. And that's what this song is about. So I hope you do enjoy it. We Love Stars.
Stars, we love stars. We're burned in their ascension or plummet from the sky. We love stars, we love stars. We're burned in their ascension or plummet from the sky. Lament of life. Well, tell me what's unfair. First world problems, the only cross to bear. While kids in Indonesia starting their first band, it's punk rock in Beijing and metal in Afghanistan. We love stars, we love stars. We're burned in their ascension or plummet from the sky. We love stars, we love stars. We're burned in their ascension or plummet from the sky. Well, activists and victims, equals in crime, feeding on your hustle and narcissistic mind. Booking concert halls, sell t-shirts from a van. Canceling and coddling's the same from where I stand. We love stars, we love stars. We're burned in their ascension or plummet from the sky. We love stars, we love stars. we're burned in their ascension or plummet from the sky. We love stars, we love stars, as we're burned in their ascension or plummet from the sky. As we're burned in their ascension or plummet from the sky. As we're burned in their ascension or plummet from the sky.
Yeah, so some of my influences writing the song, I was kind of in this vibe of like maybe some cool country western bends, something kind of Gretsch sounding, and I just listened to some work by The Clash, and you know, some of the poignancy of the lyrics and the kind of edge and punkiness was really inspiring. I picked the streamliner for this song because it does have that kind of western jangly sound. It was really cool on some of the passages. So I usually just kind of like strum through these songs, you know. I'll perform with a guitar, but having the looper was really cool because I could kind of put in some of those airy notes, you know, just to accentuate it. Not that I really did a lot. I felt kind of like, you know, the pedal did most of the work, but that's kind of the cool thing where I can just, you know, enjoy the song and get immersed in that. So Electromatic, Electro-Harmonics, they make some really cool pedals. They have a line of looper pedals, different, you know, kind of things you can do with it. I've got the Grand Canyon, which is fantastic because I'm just responsible for a couple buttons, and it's really easy because I'm not layering a bunch of stuff. So with the Grand Canyon and the Gretsch streamliner, getting a really great sound, really great vibe. You know, the other thing I like about this is, for me, it's kind of like a Gibson ES335. Like there's some similarities if you look at the kind of slim profile and the through construction of the block in the center. It's a semi-hollow body, but really good sounds coming out of it, and the pickups and stuff you can do. So anyway, that's my gear, and I hope you enjoyed, and check out my social media and give us some likes and love there, and you know, learn more about our stuff. And I'll see you next time on the Stanford Lee Show.